We had to dig out biohazard, toxic, Town of Salem, Robbie. Talk about top 5 things everybody is doing to counteract Thunder Dragons. I think we've kind of reached that impulsive time now that we have to make a video dedicated to everything that I've seen so far, side deck wise, strictly for Thunder Dragons. And I definitely think that this is a video that needs to be made. So buckle up, we're going to dig through 5 of the best things that I've seen so far. Just counteract Thunder Dragons in general, besides hand traps. But that's for another time. Alright, top 5 cards seeing play across all decks right now. So I'm playing Sky Strikers currently, and I was looking for a couple of things to kind of really consider. The first one's going to be, yes, Yugioh Forbidden Apocrypha. I don't remember the last time we have even seen this card see play, actually. So Forbidden Apocrypha, it's a trap card. You declare 1 extra deck monster type, Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz. If 2 or more monsters of the declared type exist on the field, make each player send all monsters of that type from their field to the graveyard. So not only is this interesting for the mirror match, because it just forces the send to the graveyard, as long as your opponent puts 2 fusions on the field, you are good for that literal free board nuke wipe. And of course, it's a trap card, and it's chainable, and it does fit my initial rule for traps. It needs to be able to be chainable, and it needs to be able to do a mass wipe. Now, in terms of multi-purpose ability, you're only going to be playing this really for the Thunder Dragon matchup. There's nothing else in the format you can really hit. There's nothing that's really making Xyz at the moment. There's nothing that's making Synchros. And Fusion's literally it. So, as a Sky Striker player, this is definitely one of the better cards that I can look to. Just as a, yeah, I have to hard draw it. Yeah, it kind of sucks you have to do that, but you really need a lot of outs to kind of compete with the current ferocity of Thunder Dragons, just because of their no-searching escapades. Obviously, Book of Eclipse doesn't do it for Sky Striker because you're too slow, and whatever cards you're doing, you have to just belligerently make sure that you are getting pure advantage out of. And honestly, if my opponent sets up that 3 board of Colossus, they don't have any other resources, and you board wipe them with Apocrypha, and you literally have done it. Now, the other tech choice that I've seen a lot of Sky Striker players go to is Medion. And a lot of people are like, Robbie, why'd you not talk about this on your previous video? Well, because I wasn't really sure on how much we were going to be seeing Medion. So Medion cannot be special summoned from the deck. You guys all know this, right? When you show no monsters, you get to normal summon this card. Not tribute, okay? He can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. You take no battle damage involving this guy. And then at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, as many monsters, you basically shovel everything your opponent controls back into the deck for monsters. Now, the thing I particularly find interesting about this is this card does something that Sky Striker needed. Thunder Dragon has a very, very weird aspect ratio. Well, they have a knack of OTKing you out of left field because of just how much they can put on the board. Medion is a different story here because Medion can attack, eat away all those resources from your opponent, check. And then he does something else incredibly unique to his boss monster stature. He stays on the field until your next turn and does something that Sky Strikers need. Now, obviously, this does kind of go against the Sky Striker philosophy of you need open spots for your back row to be able to do things. I understand that. But making sure that you have a monster that will be able to get back to the next turn for you that your opponent really isn't going to be able to touch is something that Sky Strikers definitely need. And we've seen a lot of other decks kind of playing this. It's mainly Sky Strikers, I think, that are kind of looking to this option as opposed to some of the other ones just because they're a slower, grindier deck. And obviously, doing something this large, forcing your opponent to give you that additional turn, something you need. Sounds good to me. Now, there are other... These are more of my Sky Strikers. Now we have to talk more generically. Alright, and the next one is, of course, a Book of Eclipse. Book of Eclipse is a rather interesting one, and the reason why I say Sky Strikers can't really play this is you set everything across your opponent's field. You got to be able to get over those guys. Like, you need 1 large monsters, 2 large monsters, 3 large yeah, you get what I'm saying. Book of Eclipse is fantastic for the aspect that you can flip everything face down and then proceed to out it. The big thing that you are using it for is to make sure that, A, your opponent can't capitalize off of having a relatively large board and trying to slow you down. Now, decks like Goki are going to love this card. Even decks like Trickstars, and I guess even in the mirror match, you can kind of go towards this card, but you have to make sure whatever you are doing to those monsters, that you are outing them, because whatever resources that your opponent is able to draw off of these cards is going to be a potential issue for you. Now, Book of Eclipse is a quick play, so you do get a little bit more defensive value out of it. I'm honestly liking the fact that all 3 of these are both offensive and defensive outs. The fact that Apocrypha's useful, the fact that Medion stays on the field, and the fact that you can choose to set the Book of Eclipse and force it through to the next turn and watch your opponent kind of struggle as you forcibly set everything on the field. Now, I like the value that you get out of that. Now, I don't really think Trickstar is going to be one of the decks kind of looking to playing Book of Eclipse. I think it's mainly just in the mirror match. True Draco, I saw, have been citing it for a couple events. And like I said, Goki, decks that can make sure that they can clear out those resources that they are setting down to not deal with them. I think it's really hard to deal with face-down monsters when you don't have Dark Hole and Raigeki in your main deck. Now, this one has been pretty obvious to a lot of people. It's DBearer. So, obviously, Sky Striker does not want to touch DBearer. You get through one turn, but DBearer just means your opponent's going to kill you on the next turn. I don't see Sky Striker getting that OTK potential, so not so good. Now, Goki sending the DBearer is really cute, actually, because chainable, Call of Fusion, GG. Multi-purpose ability is there for the invoked matchup. We don't really care about that. Now, in the mirror match, the card is actually pretty insane, being able to jam off an opponent's entire turn. I would almost say in the mirror match, I think you might have an auto win condition button just by having the DBearer. Now, if your opponent establishes a Titan, and you're going second and you're trying to DBearer them, not gonna fly, alright? DBearer in the mirror is literally going to almost be a win more card, literally just because Fusion, you shut off everything your opponent's trying to do. I don't see any other, I guess if you run against Pendulums and you're already citing DBearer, honestly, of the multi-purpose ones so far, DBearer is going to be the best one, because obviously you get Pendulums and you get invoked with it too. So I mean, you're automatically up 2 decks where the other 3 can't really do that. So I guess if you're playing something like True Draco or along those lines, DBearer might be that better option for you, just because you're looking once again to that chain ability. And I don't know, DBearer I understand why people were going to it. Just of all of the outs right now, it just doesn't seem like the best one. I don't know, I'd rather just play Medion or something. I'm so far down the Sky Striker paradigm at this point in time that, all these other outs, I look at them like, I don't know, man, Medion, Forbidden Apocrypha, Chain Ability, seems good, right? Trickstars love this card. Then the last one I want to talk about is Mind Control. Now, everybody and their mother is like, well, cool, your opponent sets up Colossus, you just Mind Control it over to your field and you out it the old-fashioned way, right? Right? Mind Control does not give you any chain ability. Alright, you can start your turn, take it, and force your opponent to go, well, shit, I can't really do anything. But when I look at Mind Control, you have a card that is exceptionally amazing in the mirror match. Being able to take any Thunder Dragon, anything your opponent has on the field, depending on the situation, it's yours. Congratulations. And that means you can start your free Thunder Dragon combos. You steal your opponent's Colossus, you're able to warp into a Titan for literally no real commitment, actually. So there's that. Number 2, in terms of multi-purpose ability, obviously, its strongest suit is going to be in a deck. It's not going to extra link you. I really only saw Mind Control being cited really in the mirror match. And any other deck right now at this current point in time is probably going to be maining it, just on the purpose of you play the mirror match, you activate Mind Control, you blow your opponent out because you just steal their big monster. Now there's a lot of ending on some summoner, and some other really weird things, bringing back the additional Thunder Dragon, sure, that's fine. But I think at the end of the day, Mind Control is just more or less there for the extensional mirror match for the side deck, just for the blowout. Other rogue decks can play it too. I mean, Trickstar can play it. Mind Control, take their monster, link away with it, do what your deck was intended to do. Obviously, like, these are going to be the best 5 outs that you have access to beat down Thunder Dragons. And when I look at Thunder Dragons as a deck, I see a very oppressive Thunder Dragon on legs, and it's relatively crazy just seeing the things that this deck can do to the normal player base, oppressing them so largely all in one card. So guys, what do you think about these 5 cards? Obviously, I'm pretty sure that there's like the hand traps, kaijus, other people are looking to other things as well right now. Play them, but I'm not really a huge fan of those particulars. So guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me if you agree with these 5. And well guys, deucerinos. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.